I'll start with talking about why I wanted to work with Amanda. I was instantly drawn to her demeanor, her vibe, her art, her vulnerability, her authenticity. To me, there always seemed to be a depth of realness with Amanda. I reached out to her because I was looking for connecting to women who seem to be living their life and their professional life in a way that I wanted to. And the core of her message is around finding your worthiness and finding where you're arguing with yourself or refusing to believe that you are in fact worthy. And so for me, that realm falls into kind of like the career and professional realm. I saw a woman who had shown up, done the work, and by work, I mean mostly the interior work of challenging the voice within, challenging the stories that we hold on to, challenging the beliefs and ideas that we have that maybe were planted by someone or something else that we didn't have any choice over at the time, but now perhaps we do. And so that was my want, my desire, my need to grow and evolve in how I was experiencing the world of work. We had a wonderful consult, which I have a lot of respect for the time and energy she invests, even in consultation, to make sure that it's a good fit for the client and a good fit for her too, because it is a relationship. And I think it's really important to make sure that, as best we can in an initial meeting, that things felt right. And for me, they very much did feel right. And that doesn't mean that it wasn't without the voice of doubt or the voice of fear around the commitment of time, energy, finances. All of that stuff came up for me, and I decided to trust that it felt good in my gut and that it felt good to connect with her. It felt good to know and understand more about the way that she worked, and that the foundation of her work was in the pursuit of like that internal work of that worthiness that we're working so hard to find. I think of two things come to mind first. So the first is that I'm just so happy that I know her, that I get to know her, and that I got to have support from her. I was a pretty big fan of who I thought she was as a human from following her on social media. And then it turned out that she was very much that human, and of course, more. And so just to hold space with a woman that you respect and a woman that offers you great support, great compassion, great challenges, and great learning. It was just so rich and valuable in that way. And then the second part of it is that I really do feel like there was transformation. It was sort of like a joke, but not a joke, throughout our work together, that I was kind of coming out of the creative closet. And so, because a lot of my conversations with her revolved around my experience of work, my experience of working so hard to get somewhere professionally, and then having the realization after trying to make it fit for so many years that it just wasn't for me, and that sort of the impact of that, the sort of trauma of that, and the how to grieve and recover and pivot and start to step into something new and reclaim something or claim something more for the first time, and that internal process around all of that, that is what she supported me through. And so now I claim creative process in my life, and I claim the word artist and see that as myself, where I didn't have the worthiness around that before. And I also claim and feel worthy to have a professional life and work life that is full of ease and joy and lightness. And that to me is priceless, because it was such a point of pain in my life. Women in general, we are planted with messages and experiences. I had learned that work had to be painful, that work had to be hard, that work had to be heavy, that work had to be a toil. And a creative life or a life outside of the prescribed box wasn't for me, wasn't accessible to me. I wasn't that type of person. I didn't have that type of access or that opportunity. But overall, where I'm at in my life now, it's been about a reclaiming and an unlearning. Reclaiming of parts of self, unlearning messages, unlearning beliefs, unlearning perspectives, recognizing the way that other people's ideas or judgments are holding on to me or playing out in me, and what that keeps me from believing and going after and working for. And so that to me is what Amanda offers, because she not only is a great teacher and educated and experienced and professional and credentialed and all of those wonderful things, but she has lived it. She has lived the experience of unlearning, unpacking, being accountable, challenging herself, seeking out wisdom, seeking out knowledge, seeking out teachers. And now she's in a position of being able to support and hold up and allow space for women who are trying to pursue the same things so that they can get to that place that's more full of light and peace. And that is why I love her so much, and our work together was so valuable.